progress.
Okay, I'm going to have Shabbos Rabbi Sai. I have to tell you the story about who I met in an elevator in Panama. Rabbi, do you want to hear this? You know who I met in an elevator in Panama? But before I tell you the story, I want to bring you to the end of this week's Parsha. Before I do that, I want to remind everyone and share with everyone that we learn every morning, Monday through Thursday, sometimes even Friday, Mishnah Berurah at 9 a.m. We just finished Hilchos Kriyas Shema. Monday morning, we're going to be starting Hilchos Tefillah at 9 a.m. We have a very chashuv chabura of Talmidei Chachamim and all kinds of Jews. But everybody's cordially invited. If you're looking to add more halacha into your learning, this is an amazing opportunity. It's 15 minutes, Monday through Thursday. Okay, so we start a new topic, Monday morning. Now, I'm going to tell you about who I met, but first I want to tell you about the end of the Parsha. In the end of the Parsha, Miriam and Aaron speak Lashon Hara about Moshe Rabbeinu. What do they say? They say, who does he think he is? He's separated from his wife. Why does he have to separate from his wife? Because he's a Navi. We're also Naviim. Avram was also a Navi. Yishai was also a Navi. We don't have to be Parish Mina Isha. So if Hashem wants to speak to us, we'll go to the mikvah. Why Moshe thinks he's holier than everybody else? And Hashem wants to reprimand them. He needs to explain to them that Moshe Rabbeinu is greater. Moshe Rabbeinu is greater than they are. So he wants to speak to them. So what does he tell them? He says, Moshe, Aaron, Miriam, step outside. Tzeu shlashtechem. All three of you go out. And then Moshe goes out with Miriam and Aaron, and Hashem speaks to Aaron and Miriam. So the Ran asks, if Hashem is speaking to Aaron and Miriam, why does Moshe need to be there? Yeah, it's an amazing question. Hashem's not speaking to Moshe. Hashem didn't say anything to Moshe. He only spoke to Aaron and Miriam. So if Hashem's only speaking to Aaron and Miriam, he should just speak to them. What does Moshe have to be there for? The Ran says the following idea. The Ran says that a Talmid Chacham and a Tzaddik has a special connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Tzaddik is a conduit to spiritual influence and connection to the Almighty. Miriam and Aaron were not on the level that Hashem will just come to them and speak to them. Their service was not that great. They had regular service, which some areas it works, some areas it doesn't work. It was not foolproof. Moshe Rabbeinu's service was high speed, 24-hour-a-day service. Moshe Rabbeinu, excuse the expression, Moshe Rabbeinu's service was much better, much faster upload and download speed than Miriam and Aaron. Therefore, if the Rebbeinu Shem wanted to speak to Miriam and Aaron, he couldn't just use his channels to them because it wouldn't work. He needed to make sure they were, excuse the expression, in a hot spot. So Hashem tells Moshe, you go there, you create a strong Wi-Fi zone, Miriam and Aaron will stand next to you, and being in your proximity, if they're in your proximity, I'll be able to speak to them also. To the point where the Ran says that what's the advantage of going to a kever of a tzaddik? What do you gain by going to a kever of a tzaddik? So the Ran says because a Talmid Chacham or a tzaddik in their lifetime was a conduit of spiritual influence, so even upon their demise, their body and their bones, which was a conduit to Hashem of spiritual influence, of bracha in their lifetime, will continue to be so even after their demise. So this Ran really outlines for us the importance of a person associating with Talmidei Chachamim. A person has to associate with Talmidei Chachamim. There is an idea that Talmidei Chachamim are a very powerful conduit for those who associate with them to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because since Rebbeinu Shem has a connection to the Talmid Chacham through Limud Torah, through mitzvahs, and that creates a passageway, an avenue of shefa, of spiritual influence, of bracha, of hashpa l'toiva, then all those who are associated with them benefit from them, And even after their patira, it's still a source of bracha and spiritual influence. Okay, on that note, so I went this week, I was in Panama, I gave a bunch of shiurim there, and they put me in a hotel, and I walk into the elevator, and I was minding my own business. And I turn around to press the button. All of a sudden, a Mossad agent walks into the elevator. He looks me over. He looks over the elevator. He checks out what's going on. I didn't know what was happening. Why was he inspecting me? Why was he looking me over? And then another guy comes running in, checking out, surveying the area. And I'm trying to think, who's in Panama now? Is the president in Panama? Is the prime minister of Israel in Panama? And then I remembered, I thought I heard that a great rabbi had just come to Panama, and sure enough, behind these two Mossad agents walks Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, the chief rabbi of Israel. And I couldn't believe it. It was my lucky day, because I had gone to some shiurim from Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, but I had never met him really personally, face to face. I had the zchus to get a haskama from him for a number of the svarim, and Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, I guess he walks into the elevator and he positions himself in the corner, looking away from everything. And I said Shalom Aleichem, and I told him my name, and I told him I was zocheh to get a haskama from him. So he gave me a bracha. I said no. I put my head down, and indicating he has to put his hands on my head. Anyway, and he gave me a full bracha. Fine. The next day, I walk into the hotel, and a African American comes running over to me, and he says, "Am I part of the entourage of the Grand Rabbi?" So I was like saying to myself, I would like to be, but so I tell him, what do you need? He said, well, we need somebody to go into the Grand Rabbi's hotel room to let him know that we want to clean his room. Is he ready for us? I said, yeah, I'll do that for you. The only thing is I had no idea where the Grand Rabbi was staying, what room he was in, and you have to have a card to get to the floor, any floor in the elevator. You have to be staying on that floor. So I said, just remind me what room the Grand Rabbi is in. So he comes up with me, and he tells me, I'm really happy the Grand Rabbi came to this hotel again. I said, why is that? He said he was here a couple years ago, and he gave me a blessing. And I said, yeah, wow, that's great. He said, yeah, it was the best year of my life. I said, what do you mean it was the best year of your life? He said, that year, good things were happening to me the whole year. So, I didn't know what to make of this. I said, like what? Like what good things happened to you? He's like, it was a really bad economy that year, and everyone was struggling. I said, okay, so what was so good? He said, well, after the Grand Rabbi blessed me, I went out and I bought a lottery ticket, and I won the lottery. So he was very happy to see Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef. He was hoping to get another blessing from him. So that's what we're learning. You see, the great tzaddikim, they're conduits of Shefa Eloki. So you'll ask, Glatstein, but you also got a blessing. So what happened to you? I did much better than winning the lottery. I have this chus to learn with you this week. Okay, that's much, much better. So already my bracha was also niskayim. But I figured I had to share that one with you. Okay.
Recording stopped.
Here we go. Another zach I want to tell you.